Hello friends, welcome back to Belle's Library. I'm Heather, and today we are gonna drink a little coffee in our little coffee shop I've made at home, and we are gonna check out my most recent book haul. I have quite a stack of books. I did a really good job thrift shopping and found quite a few good books recently, and just a few other things that I've kind of picked up along the way. So I wanted to share with you guys. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I've been really trying to buy mostly books that I have read and really enjoyed, or maybe sequels that I need to get to, because I do want to fill my bookshelves with books that I already know I love and that I want to have there. And I still want a little bit of books that I am looking forward to reading, but my library is there too, and so quite a few of these books are books that I've already read and loved, and then I also have probably another half of it that I am looking forward to reading, or maybe authors that I've enjoyed already and I'm wanting to read more of, or whatever. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll start with a few middle grades that I picked up. So I picked up The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I actually have never I've actually never read this series, and it is obviously really popular, and it's been made into a movie series, and I've watched the movies quite a few times, and I really enjoyed The Lightning Thief, and so I just imagine the books have got to be really good, right? If I enjoy the storyline and everything from the movie, I imagine I would enjoy the book, and so I decided to pick that one up. So another thought that I had for a possible video in the future, Kayla over at Books and Lala does these rereading some of her childhood books type vlogs. And I don't know that I would go to the extent that she does, because I don't have that good of a memory where I can remember like each grade, what I read and everything like that. I don't know. But I picked up a few of my childhood favorites and was like, oh, these are fun ones that I found. So I was really surprised when I actually found this, but I found a Dear America book. I don't know if you guys ever read these when you were younger, but I used to really love these ones. This one is Voyage on the Great Titanic. And basically they're like diaries of these young girls, and they go on like different historic adventures. So she was on the Titanic, and then there's one that I really remember was the Oregon Trail, and there was, I don't know, just a bunch of different ones. So I found this one, and they're just little diary entries as she journeys on the Titanic, and I just remember really enjoying them and having a lot of fun reading them when I was a kid. So I kind of want to reread one just to see what I think now. And then I also picked up a whole bunch of Nancy Drew books. I found a whole bunch of them, and I used to really enjoy reading Nancy Drew. I love like mystery type books and games and stories and different stuff like that, and kind of fun. So if you have ever watched Noelle's channel, she always loves finding like stuff in her used books. So I actually found, let me see, in a couple of these books. So this one is The Clue of the Dancing Puppet, number 39. And then we have number 2, The Hidden Staircase. I feel like this one's kind of iconic. Yeah, so this one, there's a little picture in here of this little family and their horses. I thought that was kind of fun. A couple of these have that. Number 35, The Haunted Showboat. So this one, let's see, not in this one. I think I've read this one before. I probably read a good chunk of these. I just don't totally remember. Mystery of the Moss-Covered Mansion. This one's like very white. I don't know. I don't think I've ever read this one. I've heard of this one. Oh, yeah. So this one has a little index card with a bunch of little drawings of little kids and stuff. I don't know. Kind of random. Some more drawings on the back there. The Ghost of Blackwood Hall, number 25. Nothing in this one. It says, I think they sold it for $3 at a yard sale maybe or something. The Clue of the Leaning Chimney. I guess this. It was just those couple little things in there, but I thought that was kind of fun. I'm now curious, I don't think I found anything in these other ones, but I just gotta peek, make sure. Nope. Nope, nope. Okay. So at a different moment, I found and got Small Spaces by Catherine Arden and Dead Voices by Catherine Arden. So this is the first book in the series, and this is the second. I believe there's 4 books in the series, but I recently read this one. I think it was in January when I was doing my reading as many books as I can in a month vlog, and I loved this. It's a really fun middle grade. It's like a mix between a mystery thriller and a horror type novel, and we've got Mr. Smiley here, who's like this creepy, not skeleton, scarecrow dude, and like a haunted farm, and it's just, yeah, I really liked this, so I wanted to see what the next book was like. I think we're basically following like the kids that we kind of get to know in this book. I think there's 3 of them, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, Ollie and her 2 friends, Coco and Brian. So I think we continue following those 3, and there's just like a new, different adventure. And then this one says we're talking about a winter break skiing trip with their parents at Mount Hemlock Resort. And the power goes out while they're there, and it gets a little spooky and chilly, and oh my gosh, I'm really excited to get to this one. I haven't read anything else by Catherine Arden, but I've been really interested in her Russian-inspired, I think is it a trilogy or is it a quartet? But the Bear and the Nightingale like series that she has, and so this makes me want to read it even more because I really enjoy these books. So I believe that's it for the middle grades that I got, so let's go ahead and just keep going through the stack over here. I did pick up Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So this is the final book in the Illuminae trilogy. I've read Illuminae, and I'm getting to Gemina this month, and so I wanted to pick up the last book so I would be ready to continue in this series because I'm really excited to read it. I'm also really excited because I picked up The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I have really enjoyed getting to know these authors' works, and this was one of my favorites of theirs. And I also own Love and Other Words, which I really loved and enjoyed, and their holiday one that they just came out with in the holidays. So I just am slowly collecting these, and I want to give this one a reread for sure. It is super fun. This is like a hate to love, and we're following the best man and the maid of honor, and they end up having to go on the bride and groom's honeymoon because the bride and groom get really sick from the wedding's food, and so they're forced to kind of pretend to be the bride and groom on this vacation so that it can still be taken, and then their fun love story in Hawaii. So very cute, very fun, and yeah, definitely want to get back to reading that one again. Another book that I super loved and enjoyed was The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This has been my favorite by her so far. I absolutely adored this. It is about slam poetry and Xiomara, and she's just finding her voice, and oh my gosh, just so beautifully told. If you haven't read Elizabeth Acevedo's writing, she is just amazing, and I love her. I guess we're going through a few of the books that I have read. So this is another one that I really wanted to pick up, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. This is a really fun fantasy series, and we are following, Malik. Yeah, so we're following Malik and Karina. So we have 2 different points of view, and Malik is trying to get away with his sisters into this town, and he's coming for a big celebration for Solstacia, and his sister gets kidnapped by an Ifrit, I believe it was, and they say, you need to kill the princess and then we will give your sister back. And then the princess is trying to get a king's heart in order to bring her mom back from the dead. Basically, they're trying to kill each other in a lot of ways. It was really good YA fantasy. I felt like I was being told a story in this fun storyteller type fashion. It is based on African folklore, and I'm really excited to get to the sequel. It is a duology, and the sequel's coming out here in the next few months. So Yay! Another book I absolutely adored, Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. This is amazing in graphic novel form too. I've listened to the audiobook of the full novel, and then I read the graphic novel this year, and it is amazing, and I feel like the artwork just, it makes it so impactful. We're following this kid, gosh, I'm so bad with names. I actually really like this tagline. This is great. So it says 60 seconds, 7 floors, 3 rules, and 1 gun. So we're basically following this kid, and he is trying to follow the 3 rules of his neighborhood after his big brother gets killed. 1 is no snitching, 1 is no crying, and 1 is to get revenge. I also picked up A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful story. I was sobbing through like half of it. It just didn't stop. Oh my gosh, but it was gorgeous. We're basically following this young boy and Connor, and a monster keeps showing up at his window every night at midnight and wants Connor to tell him the truth, and he's like telling him some different stories, and oh my gosh, it is considered like a fantasy book, but it is definitely so much more, and it's about grief, and it's beautiful. And there's artwork in here too, and the artwork, I mean, it doesn't overtake the whole story, but some of it is just really, like, I have to find the picture I should just mark it because it's one of my favorites. This one's actually really cool looking. So here's our monster, like, in the house. He's like pushing the chandelier out of the way at the top there because he's just massive. But there is this one picture, and I think it's so impactful, and I love it. So the illustrations are by Jim Kay. Okay, so the next one I actually have not read. So that is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I read his most recent book, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, recently, and really liked it, and I want to read more by him, and this just sounds really fun. So basically it is a horror novel, but it's almost told in this kind of IKEA catalog type way. So there's like weird stuff going on in this kind of IKEA type store. And so it says, welcome to Orsk. Horror Store is an original work of fiction, horror, and parody. The contents of this book are not sponsored by, affiliated with, or endorsed by any furniture retailer or manufacturer. The settings and characters described in this story do not exist in real life. All furniture and merchandise featured herein are products of the author's fevered imagination. So it like has, you can assemble stuff and ways around the store, and just different furniture items and different stuff. So I'm curious as to how that's going to work into like a horror story. I don't know, but it sounds interesting. Another one that I picked up was The Weight of the Stars by Kate Ingram. I've been super wanting to get to this author's work. All of their work sounds super interesting to me, and I think this one's no different than that. So this book basically follows 2 different girls. We have Ryan, who has dreamed about going up into the stars and being an astronaut, but she was born in a trailer park, and she just doesn't believe that that is something that's ever going to be achievable for her. And then we also have Alexandria, and they meet, and Alexandria's mom is actually an astronaut, and so she's trying to catch radio signals from her to hear from her, and they become friends, and their story and how things kind of entangle there, I guess. I don't know. I'm really excited. I've heard her books are really impactful, and I'm excited to see what she's got. Another author that I found last year that I really enjoyed was Riley Sager. I read Home Before Dark, so I also found a couple of his books for inexpensive at the thrift store. The Last Time I Lied, as well as Lock Every Door. I've been really excited to get to this one, but yeah, I wanted to get to all of his works, so I'm very curious to see how these go. So this one, my understanding is this girl like moves into an apartment building, but there's a lot of rules that are kind of regulated, but I think she like can live there for free or cheap or something. But it says no visitors, no nights spent away from the apartment, no disturbing the other residents, all of whom are rich or famous or both. And this one's about like a camp type thing, I believe. It says 2 truths and a lie. These 4 girls played it all the time at Camp Nightingale. Oh, and I think like one of them, like something bad happens when they're there as kids, and then one of them has to go back and kind of face it or something like that. This next one I picked up because I was like, I need more pink books, and I just loved the cover, and I thought it was really cute and adorable. But this one is, I believe, like an historical romance type of a deal. It's set in the American Revolution, and so basically we're following these 3 sisters, part of this family, and Eliza ends up meeting Alexander Hamilton, and it's their like love story, I guess. So it's, yeah, kind of like a fun historical romance, but oh my gosh, this cover is just adorable. And then also I decided to pick up Finale by Stephanie Garber. So this is the final book in the Caraval series. I read Caraval and loved it last year, and then this month I'm reading Legendary, which is the second book. So I wanted to round out the series and make sure I had the last one so I can read the whole thing, because I am sure that I'm going to love it. Oh, and I guess I should say what it's about. So this follows Scarlet, and basically Caraval is like this carnival on steroids kind of a thing. It's set on this island, it's run by legend, and it's got some magical elements to it, but there's like a game, and this year Scarlet's sister is kidnapped and everybody has to find her, and whoever can find her first, they get to win a wish from legend. And so it gets kind of confusing though, because you're questioning the whole time how much of it is a game and how much of it is real, even though they just keep saying, remember, it's only a game the whole time. And then I picked up Pumpkinheads by Faith Erin Hicks and Rainbow Rowell, and this is just like the best little graphic novel when it comes to fall time. I can't wait for like September. I'm gonna like start my fall season out with this. That's what I did last year and I loved it. Oh my goodness, it's just really fun. These 2 friends, it's their last year working at this pumpkin patch before they go away to college, and they are just like, it's like their last night. They're hitting all the stops. You get to see everything at this pumpkin patch. There's like a pumpkin drop. There's these like pumpkin bombs or something where it's like pumpkin pie like dipped in chocolate and on like a popsicle stick or something, and there's a fudge shop and a corn maze, and there's just so much fun stuff, and it's just super cute, and I just love it. And then we've got 2 more books, guys. We're almost there. Is this? Yeah, okay, so these last 2 books are my book of the month picks for March. I guess it would have been March. Yeah, I know what month it is, totally. So I picked the Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. This was actually already on my radar, and then I saw that it was a pick, and I was like, yes, I want to get this. Not only is it gorgeous and beautiful and purple, my favorite color, but it is also about witches, which I love a good witchy story. So yes, and we're talking about like poison witches or something. A forgotten history, a secret network of women, a legacy of poison and revenge. Welcome to the Lost Apothecary. Very excited about that one. And I picked up another fantasy, and that was Legendborn. I added on because, yeah, I've heard so many good things about this. This is a little chunker. But everybody's been super enjoying this one, and I just wanted to get in on the action. This is like a YA fantasy, and it's kind of a King Arthur retelling, where we're following our young girl here, what's her name, Bree, and her mom dies when she's like 16. She goes away to this college. She sees some magic, and these, I don't know if they're magi, something, I don't know. Anyways, they try to wipe her memory, and it doesn't work, and then she finds out that she has some magical powers that she didn't know about. So she kind of gets swept into this secret society. So I'm very excited about that one as well. They almost had enough space. Let's see if we can make this work. There we go. Okay, all of the beautiful books that I read. I wish I read all these. All of the beautiful books that I acquired. Words are definitely deceiving me at this moment. There they all are. I'm excited to read the ones that I haven't, and I'm very excited to have the ones that I've loved that I picked up. And if you guys made it this far, I would absolutely love a pink emoji down below. And I would love if you guys would subscribe and stick around so you can see me read all of these books. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye!